Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a really fucking long time. Sorry about that. I had some mental shit that I was trying to get in order and some other bullshit going on with the neighbors I had to deal with that kind of set me off for a couple weeks. But none of that shit is important today because last night was the Game Awards and it was one hell of a fucking show because 2017, in my opinion, has been the best year in gaming, hands down. So let's jump right into it. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year, like it should have. Not only was Zelda the best game, in my opinion, that came out this year, but it has been the best game that I have ever played in my entire life. The Legend of Zelda also won Best Game Direction and Best Adventure Game, and was nominated for 3 other awards that it didn't win. And Ed Boon actually presented the Best Game Direction award, so I thought that was pretty cool, because I fucking love Mortal Kombat. Also, on top of that, they showed the trailer for Champions Ballad DLC and then announced that it was available at that very moment. So that's cool. Another heavy hitter at the Game Awards last night was Cuphead. Cuphead was nominated for 5 awards and won 3 of them. It won Best Art Direction, Best Debut Indie Game, which was presented by Aisha Tyler, so that was cool. And then it also won Best Indie Game. If you haven't checked out Cuphead, it's pretty cheap. I think it's only like 20 bucks, something like that. Definitely worth the buy. Then moving past that, on my list of things here that I wrote down, Mario Odyssey was nominated for 6 awards. It only won 1. Most of the awards it was nominated for that it lost out to Zelda. It lost out to something else too, and I cannot remember what that was. But whatever it is, it must have been dope. But Mario Odyssey won Best Family Game and was nominated for Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Score, Best Audio Design, and Best Adventure Game. And I love Mario. The very first game I ever played in my entire life was Mario 3. And for the longest time, Paper Mario for the 64 was my favorite Mario game. And I have not even finished Mario Odyssey yet. I feel like I've probably, at best, even got only a fourth or a third of the way through it. And it's already my favorite Mario game that I've ever played. Another game that had a strong presence at the Game Awards was Wolfenstein 2. I haven't played Wolfenstein 2 yet, but I'm dying to. I have, let's see here, it's on my shelf right here. The 2-pack, the Old Blood and the New Order, but I have not got to it yet because I have not finished Recore, which is what I'm currently working on. Anyways, it won Best Action Game and was nominated for Best Game Direction and Best Narrative. Also, Brian Bloom was nominated for his performance as BJ Blazkowicz, so that must be one hell of a game. Looking forward to playing that. So anyways, Wolfenstein 2, Best Action Game, 2017, flipping my notes over here. Alright, here we go. This was a cool part of the show too. So they did an Industry Icon Award, and they gave it to this lady named Carol Shaw, who made a game called River Raid for Activision for the Atari, like years before I was born. Like, I can't remember how many, but a significant amount of years. Like, so it seemed like, I feel like they said 83 or 85, something like that. Sorry if I'm wrong about that. But I've never played River Raid. I actually am not that big into Atari at all. My stepdad had one, and he was really excited to, like, oh, look, this is how cool video games were when I was a kid, da-da-da-da-da. And I started out on the Nintendo with, like I said, Mario 3. So Atari games for me are really not that cool. There's a couple of okay ones, but anyway, that has nothing to do with her game. Well, I will say about River Raid, though, I've never played it, never even seen it until they showed it at this show, but it looks just like a game that my daughter plays, a cell phone game, which is clearly a ripoff of. So that's pretty cool that this game that Carol Shaw designed before I was born was at least the gameplay mechanics were fun enough that people who make shitty little free cell phone games are ripping it off to this day. So that's cool. Also, I really liked listening to her talk about how things have changed, or seeing it from her point of view or whatever, being involved in the industry so long ago. That was really cool. And then the last game I want to talk about here that I thought had a really strong presence at the Game Awards was Hellblade, which I have never played, but I am absolutely going to play after how much praise it got at this show. Plus, I had heard other people in the gaming industry mention it a few times as a game that they thought was really cool once the nominees were announced. So Hellblade was nominated for 4 awards and won 2. It won Games for Impact and Best Audio Design. And then on top of that, Melanie Juergens won the Best Performance award, and for her, I don't know what character she plays. I've never played the game, but for her performance in the game, during her speech, she actually said that she was not even an actress. She was just the video editor there, and did that role, and apparently nailed the shit out of it. So I'm very, very interested in Hellblade. I don't know what that is, so it's probably something you play on PC. Hopefully it's something you can play on an Xbox or a Switch or something. If it is, I'm definitely going to check it out. And then we have a million billion other awards here that I'm going to try to get through as fast as possible without disrespecting the prestige of these awards. Because, like I said, 2017 was a phenomenal year for gaming. Any of these games who got nominated are probably off the chain. I haven't played a lot of them, but a lot of them I have played. And the ones that I have played, I'm telling you, are amazing. Like, games now are better now than they ever have been. And it's not even close in comparison. Like, they are off the chain right now. So we got Trending Gamer went to a guy called Dr. Disrespect, who I have heard of before when he had some kind of back and forth on Twitter with a game developer. I can't remember what game that was for. I want to say PUBG, but that could be wrong. And he beat out the person that I was rooting for was Andrea Renee, who's hilarious and has an awesome podcast with a bunch of other hilarious girls called What's Good Games. So I'm definitely going to check out Dr. Disrespect. If he beat her out, then he must be pretty funny. Then Best Narrative went to What Remains of Edith Finch. Best Score, Nier. I've heard people call it Nier Automata and Nier Automata. Nier Automata sounds more accurate to me, or sounds less ridiculous. I don't know. But so it's whatever that game is actually called. And that one I thought for sure was going to go to Cuphead. I've never played Nier Automata, but I've seen footage of it, and I hear that it's really good, and it looks really good. So it must also apparently have really nice music to go along with it. Best Student Game went to a game called Level Squared. And I cannot remember the name of the developer who accepted the award, which sucks. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't because I suck. But he said on stage that he's graduating in 2 weeks, and someone should give him a job, and I hope that works for him. If I was there and I was running a game development studio, I would have totally hired him for that. Then we got Best Handheld Game. Samus Returns got Best Handheld Game. I've never played any of those Metroid games, but people never shut up about them, so they must be good. Maybe I'll check one out one day. I do want to say, though, that the best handheld game... Oh, shit. Hit my nose. Anyways, the best handheld game, all of the nominees were Nintendo games, which I thought was cool. Which makes sense. Nintendo's really got that on lock. I wish Xbox would do something, make some kind of handheld something, but they're apparently not interested. PlayStation has tried a couple times, but then I don't know. They try, but I've never picked up any of them, so maybe I'm totally wrong. But just from an outsider's perspective, it looks like they always try and then just like give up, like they're half-assed, like they're not really interested. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it doesn't matter. And let's see here. Where was I at? Best handheld. Oh yeah. Best VR game, Resident Evil 7. No surprise there. There was some really cool looking VR games that were nominated, but Resident Evil 7, I'm pretty sure, is the only one that's like a real like AAA. It's Resident Evil. So, and then Best RPG went to Persona 5, which I hear about all the time. Again, never played it. That one I was really rooting for South Park. I love that game. Just finished it the other day, actually. I don't think it was quite as funny as Stick of Truth, but the changes they made to the gameplay definitely made it an equal game in my eyes. And then, moving on, Best Fighting Game, Injustice 2 got that. Never played Injustice 2. I played the first one. I'm big on fighting games. I think it's kind of a bummer what's been happening with fighting games, where they're all getting turned into just button mashing or spamming projectiles. But maybe Injustice 2 is different. I don't know. Not, I'll pick it up eventually and play it with my daughter and stuff. But it's just crazy to me how those have gone. But on the plus side, jumping forward, they showed a trailer for Soulcalibur 6 at the Game Awards, so maybe that's about to change. And then we still have Smash Brothers and Killer Instinct are still good. It seems like a lot of fighting games now are geared towards people who before wouldn't have, had the skill to play. I don't know. I'm rambling. I shouldn't, but it's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. So I feel like I'm trying to rain on, or I feel like I'm raining on fucking Injustice's parade. I've never even played the sequel, so I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I'm just saying. I know the first one I really didn't think was that good. I got it for my daughter because it has Raven and Cyborg and stuff, and she loves Teen Titans. So also I didn't see any other nominees that were anything other than that either. So hopefully in the future we get some real fighting games. Sorry, fucking. NetherRealm Studios. I think you guys are the ones making those. That's not my cup of tea, I guess. Whatever. I should cut all that out, but fuck it, I'm not going to. I'm leaving it in. Keep it real with you guys. I am hoping something happens with fighting games where they ended. In the early 2000s, fighting games were off the chain. That trilogy of Mortal Kombat games. What was it? It was Deadly Alliance, Deceptions, and Armageddon. Those are the best Mortal Kombat games. And then at the same time, Soulcalibur was whooping ass. I don't know. I wish the fighting game scene, I wish it was something more like that as opposed to what it is today. But anyways, moving on. I gotta stop. I gotta stop talking shit about current fighting games. They're really not even that bad. There are a lot of cool visuals and shit. Just the mechanics have been really dumbed down. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say about that, though. Damn it. Alright. Leave all your shit talk about my shit talk of your all-time favorite fighting game, Injustice 2, in the comment section below. Anyways, best strategy game, Mario Rabbids. That game was dope. When I first heard about it, I was really disappointed. I was like, ugh, Rabbids? Really? Not interested. But I really didn't know shit about the Rabbids. I just knew that they were like these goofy little kid side characters, I believe, from Rayman. Or at least they'd done something with Rayman. I know that's Ubisoft stuff. But the game turned out to actually be really good, the way they did the guns and all the other bullshit. I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to explain it because I've never played another game like it. I know that it's basically just Mario skinned XCOM, from what I understand, but I've never played those either. So anyways, and it beat an XCOM game in this category. So Mario Rabbids, that was a dope game. No surprise that it won that, because that game was really, really fucking good. If you haven't checked it out, you have a Switch, might as well check it out. Best racing or sports, Forza 7. I really didn't see. Normally, I don't know if a Madden didn't come out this year or what was going on. I know a lot of gamers don't really fuck with sports games. Sports games are more for like casual gamers who own, like, they have a PlayStation to watch DVDs on, and then they also play like Madden or whatever. But I love sports games, racing games, and football, basketball. Those are all video games based on games, so they're fucking fun. You know what I'm saying? But I really didn't see any that I was that interested in the whole category. But Forza 7 took it, so that's cool for Forza 7. I played a Forza game. I can't remember what it was called, or Forza game, but it was pretty cool. My brother loves sports games. With racing games, I'm more into an arcadey style racing as opposed to like a realistic style racing. But whatever. Moving on. Best multiplayer went to PUBG. PUBG looks awesome. If it wasn't for Fortnite, I would definitely it would still be on a list of games that I'm absolutely picking it up. But now I can just play Fortnite's Battle Royale for free, so I don't need to. But as far as I know, PUBG hasn't even actually come out and is not even done. So I don't know how I feel about it even being in the runnings. Other than that, it looks badass. And personally, I think I would give this one to Splatoon 2. But like I said, if PUBG gets to qualify for this year, maybe it is that good. Which would be damn good, because Splatoon 2 is what I call video game crack. That game is the shit. So props to PUBG on that. And then the last wait, no. Alright, there's 4 more awards that I have to mention, or that I'm going to mention. But this next one is a weird game to get an award. It's like an award for games that haven't come out yet. It's most anticipated. But whatever, we're going to roll with that anyways, right? So there's most anticipated game. And The Last of Us 2 got it. I've heard a lot about this game. Never played, or no, obviously not the second one because it hasn't come out, but The Last of Us. People talk about it, praise it all the time, so it must be pretty dope. Personally, the most anticipated game for me off that list is Red Dead Redemption 2. But if Last of Us 2 gets it, then now I officially am interested because of this in The Last of Us. Wasn't before, but if people are more anticipating The Last of Us 2 than they are Red Dead Redemption, then it must be one hell of a game. And then we got the esports. Esports player of the year was a guy called Faker. And their team of the year was Cloud9. And their game of the year was Overwatch. So congratulations to Faker, Cloud9, and Overwatch. And that is the first page of notes, which I believe is all the awards. Now we're going to get on to the page and a half of other notes that I wrote down about all the other bomb-ass shit that happened there. So I already mentioned Soulcalibur 6 trailer. That's on this other page, but I brought it up because I went into that fucking rant about Injustice 2, which I shouldn't have. Like I said, not trying to rain on your parade. Congratulations, Injustice 2. It's a game that I'm going to eventually own, so, I can't talk too much shit. I just, I wish things were a little... I gotta stop fucking talking about that shit, though. Anyways, moving on. They had... Alright, so I wrote this down. They had this orchestra that would play video game music, and that was fucking badass. I've always wanted to go something like that in real life, and I've never got the chance, so it was cool to see it there. And then also, there was like some just gorgeous looking women playing those instruments, which was like, that was off the chain to me. So it was like, the women were beautiful. I'm attracted to talent anyway, so when girls play an instrument, that gets me going anyways. And then they were playing like music from some of my favorite video games. That was awesome. So, I know that's not the part that you're supposed to focus on. I mean, the orchestra itself was the shit anyways. Those people could have all looked like potatoes, and that performance would have still been awesome. It was just a super cool bonus that they were like, there was a lot of beautiful women in that, and a lot of them were right up front. I don't know, it was just awesome. I know it's 2017. I shouldn't mention it. I'm gonna be on the news later because I mentioned it, but whatever. Or maybe that joke's inappropriate. I don't know. Like I said, feel free to talk some shit in the comment section below. Whatever. So, alright, moving on from that. So then they showed pretty early on, it might even have been part of the pre-show, they showed World War Z game trailer, and some of the there was like this narration over it or whatever, like these dialogue pieces, and a couple of the things that they said made it sound like you're gonna play through some of the shit that happens in the book. But then the gameplay shit, well, I don't even know if it's gameplay, but the shit that you see then kind of looks contradictory to that. Like, and I hate to sound like one of those guys, just the book and this isn't like a case like Fight Club where the book and the movie are a little bit different. It's like major, massive. This is like when they did the Dragon Ball Z live action movie. It's like the book and the movie share the same name. That's really all there is the same about them. The book is, this will be a little bit spoilery, so whatever. Abandon this if you don't want to hear about this book that you're probably not ever going to read anyways. The book's pretty cool. I read it in jail. And it's sectioned off into all these, like, it's almost like these diary entries of all these different people that have experience, or I don't even know if I can't remember if they all survived or not, but anyways, they've survived long enough to tell this tale anyways. Or maybe that's not how it was. I feel like it was journal entries. Maybe it was just little sections from their point of view and they were talking or something, or giving an interview. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while. But so there was parts from the perspective of soldiers, citizens, and doctors, and I think that was it. So just soldiers, citizens, and doctors. I liked the citizens and the doctors, and a couple of the soldier ones, but most of the soldier ones sucked. So it'd be interesting to see how that game plays out. But anyways, like I said, I can't remember from the books. I don't think the zombies were like running around like maniacs and shit in massive hordes like they were in the movie and in this game trailer. And I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember one of the stories is about a soldier who broke her ankle and then was still able to outrun one of these zombies. So I couldn't imagine they were running at full speed in the book. Like I said, it's been a while since I read it. I could be wrong. Either way, it's something I got my eye on. Just not something I'm getting my hopes up about. And then there was a VR title called Accounting Plus. I believe it was a VR title anyways. Accounting Plus that comes out December 19th. That game looks bananas. That shit looked tight. And then this game's already out. But whatever, I'm going to talk about it anyways. They showed several trailers for Rocket League, which that game looks awesome to me. I held it. Typically, when games come out on all platforms, I'll play them on Xbox to get the achievement points or whatever. But Rocket League, I actually was never interested in all until they showed you can get like the Mario and Luigi and Samus cars and play. Then I was like, all right, now I'm sold. Like, now I fucking want to play this game, but only on the Switch. I want to do the Mario and Luigi cars. That looks fucking dope. So now I'm really interested in that. And then moving on, THQ did a trailer for a game called Fade to Silence, which looked pretty cool. I was hoping for some god damn it, now I can't think what it's called. I was hoping for Darksiders 3 something, teaser, announcement, something, nothing. I believe it was THQ that did those. I don't know if they're doing the next one or not. I feel like they are. I feel like I follow them on Twitter and I see shit pop up about that all the time. But nothing there. Fade to Silence though. There was actually a handful of these games. Well, no, I wouldn't say most of them. It looks like off the list, just looking down at it, were games I hadn't even heard of yet. When it was Fade to Silence, I hadn't heard of it. It looks cool though. Looks like some kind of survival game. I'll give it a chance if it comes my way. If it comes through Xbox. Can't remember if it was or not. And then there was an Oculus trailer. There was a lot of VR stuff. A lot of these games that I'm going to name off are VR stuff. And if I can, I'll try to remember to throw the links to these trailers down in the comment section below so you can check them out for yourself. But anyways, there was an Oculus trailer and it showed a bunch of games, whatever. And it showed Star Trek Bridge Crew, which like that's the one. Like fuck all the other VR games. Star Trek Bridge Crew and now Doom VR too are like the ones that I want to check out. Let's moving on here. Okay, so Reggie from Nintendo America was there. Reggie Fils-Aimé, I believe his last name is. He was there to announce that Bayonetta 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch, as well as Bayonetta 3, which Bayonetta's never been something that I got into, but I have a Wii U, and that's like the only game that anyone who doesn't have a Wii U ever asks about. It's like, oh, do you play Bayonetta 2? Because fuck everything with Bayonetta 2, apparently. And I'm like, nah, that game doesn't really look like it's up my alley or whatever, but people go on and on and on about it, so maybe when Bayonetta 1 and 2 come out, if it looks like they are coming out in a package, maybe I'll check it out if it's cheap or something. Well, or reasonably priced. Definitely not going to pay $60 for that shit, but maybe when it gets cheaper or something. So anyways, there's that, and then Bayonetta 3. So people who are into that, be excited about that. Here we go. I put a star next to this one. I don't know why. Fuck me. I don't know why I waited so long to mention it. Sea of fucking Thieves got a release date and had an awesome trailer, but also got a release date, March 20th. Sea of Thieves, Rare. It's going down. That shit's gonna be dope. Xbox fucking pirate game made by Rare. What more do you need to know? That shit's gonna be off the chain. Very. Oh shit. Shoo. Threw up in my mouth a little bit. Anyways, very excited about that game. And then there was the Death... Well, I don't know in what order this fucking happened in, but it was on my list. Death Stranding trailer. Up until the Game Awards, I hadn't seen anything about this game that made me give any kind of a fuck about it at all. Even like the first 3/4 of the Death Stranding trailer. Only I don't know if it was that much, but it felt like that much, because that thing felt like it took fucking forever. I still didn't give a shit about. And then everything got super fucking weird. And now I'm really fucking interested in Death Stranding. But I'm pretty sure that's PlayStation exclusive, so until PlayStations are dirt cheap, probably not going to play that game. Because most of what I play is Xbox or Nintendo, so I don't even own a PlayStation. I'm not really that interested in running out and buying one. They've actually, in the last few years, have kicked out a few system sellers, but through all of PlayStation 3, they really weren't putting out anything I give a fuck about other than like God of War. in through all of PlayStation 4's life until like this fucking year, or maybe last year, like or whenever the fuck Horizon came out. I believe it. Oh yeah, obviously it was this year because it was nominated for a bunch of so until fucking 2017. So that thing was out for a while. It seems like without doing shit that I give a fuck about. So I will probably not ever get one of those unless somebody gives me one, or I just see one on the shelf somewhere for dirt. I'm talking, you know, fucking under $50 or maybe $50 tops. Like, just not my, you know, I can't. It is not in the budget for me to be fucking with Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. So I'm gonna roll with the cats that I've been fucking with. Nintendo obviously will always be in the house. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Nintendo and they have all of my favorite games. But then Xbox has Gears of War. And then hopefully fucking one day Fable will come back too and shit. So those are just my preferred systems. Anyways, that's irrelevant. Death Stranding looked cool though. Then there was, okay, here we go. Another one. This game, another one I had never heard of. In this, it's a fucking first-person shooter, and I'm not even really that big of a fan of first-person shooters, but this one looked fucking fresh, man. It was first-person shooter, and you're like shooting all kinds of monsters and shit. It's called Witchfire, and like I said, if I can remember, the trailer will be in the comment section below. Or no, sorry, not the comment section. I don't know why I said that. Talk shit in the comment section below. That's what that's for. The description below the video is where that shit will hopefully be, if I can remember. Then there was a trailer for a game that looked alright called GTFO, which I'm going to assume means get the fuck out. A lot of weird shit going on. Couldn't really tell too much about it, but it was interesting. It was noteworthy, at least. I can say that about it. Then Metro Exodus is actually the second trailer I've seen for this. And this game still looks fucking cool. It looked cool the first time I saw it, and it still looks cool. So it's on the list. Metro Exodus trailer. That was cool. Entertaining part of the show. Glad that happened. Oh, and then a game that I was more interested in than most of the other games on this. There's a handful that beat this one out, but this one looked really fucking cool. I couldn't tell if it was VR or what. I'm assuming it's VR, but it was called Dreams. And they were like, play through our dreams and make your own whatever, or some shit like that. Anyways, it looked fucking awesome. So that happened, and that was cool. And then also, so that was all the trailers, I think. That's all the shit I did. Or all the game trailers, sorry. Then moving on. Conan O'Brien popped in and did a little segment that was pre-shot for the show, whatever. Made some jokes on all of the top games that were coming out, and then like promoted Yahtzee, whatever. It wasn't nearly as funny as I thought it was gonna be when he first appeared on the screen, but it was just cool that he was there, I guess. I'm not sure when it turned, but it seemed like for the longest time, video games was like this shit that I did that, you know, people were always talking shit about, like, you know, oh, it's gonna fucking rot your brain, or it's gonna make you violent, or fucking, you know, it's shit that nerds do, or whatever. And now it's like, you know, it's more, I don't want to necessarily say mainstream, because that shit sells like fucking crack, so it's always kind of been mainstream, but it seems just more acceptable. Like, you don't have to be like I mean, I've never been a closet gamer, but I definitely remember getting dissed. I was like the loser always growing up, because I was into like loser shit, you know, video games being one of them. That now it's not like loser shit anymore, now it's like normal shit. I think that has a lot to do with motherfuckers who are adults now all grew up on that shit, like so they know that shit's not like they know that shit's dope, you know. It's in my opinion, it's the greatest art on the planet. Anyways, moving forward. So anyways, Conan O'Brien being there just kind of, it was cool, you know. It felt like I don't know, in the eyes of some third party looking out, or third party looking in who doesn't play video games, if they had sat and watched that when they seen Conan, maybe they thought this is like a legitimate thing. I don't know. Like I said, video games have always been legitimate to me. It's just cool that it's like not fucking, like, you know, it's not whack now to be like, I like video games. Okay, anyways, moving on. So then fucking the Jumanji plug was cool. A little weird though, I'll get into that second. So it's like Kevin Hart and The Rock and Jack Black, who's fucking awesome. They're doing this Jumanji remake, and Jumanji is going to be a video game now instead of a board game, which I'm thoroughly looking forward to, because when I was a kid, I remember Jumanji being like this epic fucking film, and then I seen it again as an adult, and the CGI looks like shit, and it really just does not hold up. Which is cool though, because then they did that movie that's basically the same, about a game. I think it's called Zuthura or something like that. Anyways, I feel like those are probably based on books or something. I don't know. I feel like I heard something about that. It's been a long time ago. Anyways, old Jumanji sucks. New Jumanji looks fucking awesome, and instead of a board game, it's based on a fucking video game. So that's the shit, and it's got fucking Kevin Hart, who's hilarious, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock, greatest actor and wrestler of all time, Johnson in it. You know what I'm saying? And Jack Black from the greatest band on earth, Tenacious D. That movie's gonna be off the fucking chain. I'm very excited about that. Let's see here. What else did I write down? Oh, okay, here we go. Even cooler than that, though. Guillermo del Toro, who directed... I don't know if he wrote and directed it, but I know for sure he directed it. One of my all-time favorite movies, called Pan's Labyrinth, was there to promote an upcoming movie he's got coming out called... I can't remember if it's called The Shape of Water or just Shape of Water, but that movie looks dope. Like I said, Pan's Labyrinth is one of my all-time favorite movies, and this movie looks like it could possibly be better, which would be amazing, because I have not seen many movies in my life that I feel like are better than Pan's Labyrinth. Moving on, we're almost done here. I know this video is long as fuck. Thank you if you're still with me. And then, so there was a couple of cool announcements of like shit that's like going on, you know, for games that are already out. Like I said, the Zelda one was one of them. That was the biggest one though, and Zelda was like the most important part. And like, if you take away anything from fucking this video, if you're still here listening, basically fuck everything but Zelda. Zelda's the greatest thing in the world. Whatever. Moving on. Or back to the topic at hand, not moving on. Staying here in the same place. So there was some announcements for some other games that had some shit going on. PUBG, new map. That's cool. I didn't know it only had one map because I don't play it because it's not out on console yet. But whatever. So new map. Kudos to that. And then Fortnite is doing, you know, it's basically the same shit. Fortnite, their announcement was that they're adding a new 50 versus 50 mode. So that's fucking cool because that's free and it's on Xbox. So I'm going to be playing that shit. And then, the only other thing that I've got written down here before we wrap this all up is there was this game dev named Joseph Ferris. He gave a phenomenal speech and where he rambles on a lot. This is fuck the Oscars, whatever. It was extremely entertaining. And Jeff Keighley actually had to cut him off because he was going on too long. But I think they should let that guy fucking host next time. And I wasn't that interested in his game at all. It's called A Way Out, and it's about breaking out of prison or breaking out of jail. I'm not sure specifically which one because they are different. A lot of people don't know that. Jail and prison, two completely different worlds. But anyways, I was not interested in that at all because I have been arrested a few times and I have served a little bit of time. And not much. The most I ever served was 120. But fucking anyone who's ever been incarcerated for a fucking day will tell you that a day is too long. You know what I'm saying? In the 120 days I did, I didn't know if I was getting out at the end of 120 days or if I was facing like 103 months or something like that. And I didn't know when I was getting out until at sentencing, the judge sentenced me and let me go on 5 years probation, and I had to do like 13 months of rehab and all this other bullshit and pay like 40 grand and restitution and all this other shit. Nothing serious. I fucking got in a fist fight. A dude swung on me. I beat him up. He got some pretty severe injuries and some brain damage, so I got charged with first degree assault, whatever. Like I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I just did some shit that's technically illegal in the state of Minnesota where I live. But anyways, so I was not going to check this game out because fuck being incarcerated. Like, fuck that shit for real. But this dude was so passionate about his game and so passionate about video games in general that I might check it out. But I don't know. Just thinking about that shit and like even just seeing the game shows and shit, that shit gives me anxiety. So I don't know. But if you're into that kind of thing, maybe you should check it out. But I'm just not. Even before I went to jail, I'm just not into seeing that kind of shit. Like, it actually used to drive me crazy when I was in jail. Motherfuckers would want to watch shows. And we were locked up 18 hours a day minimum. You know what I'm saying? And we were lucky if we were only locked up 18 hours a day. So every once in a while, we'd get out and take a shower and fucking, jerk off and watch TV or whatever. And motherfuckers would get the remote and then want to watch shows about motherfuckers in jail. So I used to tell them, like, hey, how about you give me the remote? and I'll watch wrestling, and you can just turn your chair around and stare at me. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be like you're watching that shit like in 3D. Like I'm really like we're sitting in this motherfucker. Why do you want to watch fucking shows about that motherfucker? Because that's kind of how I feel about the game. It's like I've been done sat in that shit, and it fucking sucked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to fucking play a game about that shit too. You know that does not sound fun to me. But like I said, Joseph Fares, very passionate about his game, very entertaining. And fuck the Oscars. With that, I'm gonna let you guys go. If you made it through this whole fucking thing, thank you so much. If you're interested in fucking more content from me, I am the most amazing and charismatic and fucking whatever. I don't know. I'm running out of things to say. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not shit. Either way, if you're interested in more content from me, like, share, subscribe. Or whatever the fuck. At least subscribe. I guess you have to like or share, but fuck it. It would be dope if you liked and shared, but also you should subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in some other shit some other time.